here in the next month or two. And I figured this was the best way to do it. You know, when you're talking about a project, one of the first things you need to talk about is financing it and figuring out how the heck you're gonna pay for it. And we're talking about a pretty good project. I know we're chasing a grant, and that's a factor, but don't forget the fact that we're getting ready to turn our plan of attack for this levee system into the Corps of Engineers. So whatever we turn in, we can't just turn something in and not do it. You know, we gotta at least let them know, here's our thoughts. You know, here's our thoughts and here's what we wanna do. So that was my goal to get you guys actually thinking about this and how you wanna go about it. Just, I'm sure it's gonna bring up a lot of conversation. And like I tell everybody, hell, I don't know which way to take us unless we, at some point here, we're gonna have to start making some decisions.
Aren't we gonna give a little bit of time to see if, you know, what we've been working on here the last year, 2 years with this grant? I mean, shouldn't we give that a chance?
Well, but you're not putting all the pieces of puzzle together, Greg. What happens if we get a grant and we don't have a decision made on how we're gonna do the project? And we can't have a decision made on how we're gonna do the project unless the Corps okays it.
Well, I get that. I'm talking about the money part of it. I don't wanna start talking money too quick. We're out asking other entities to throw in $4 million.
4.3.
4.3, so, you know, I don't know how that will look with those folks.
Well, and then all of this outlay that's in here is all for the Lawrenceburg levy.
Exactly, I was just talking to Jimmy.
And we need that for this grant.
Yeah, there's no, in the 23, or I'm sorry, 27 million, there's no money,
For Greendale at all.
there's no money for Greendale in there. I mean, first of all, the project is about 70 million. We don't have enough money to even do the Greendale project on its own. I mean, we have enough money to tackle the Lawrenceburg system. And I kind of see where Greg's moving, but really, you may not know anything about these grants for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, we knew that going in.
We might not know anything about the project
Yeah.
for 2 years from the Corps. That's why, you know, that's why I think that at least we need to come together and say, hey, here's the direction we want to go, you know, and that way John can fine tune this, what he's going to turn into the Corps. What happens, I'll give you an example. What happens if we say, hey, or John says, hey, I'm ready to turn things into the Corps, so we turn in a plan, we're abandoning 160 relief wells, we're putting 80 in, tying them in and doing all this, and they're looking at it. We don't get a grant, or the grant doesn't come for 5 years, and FEMA calls, and, you know, I'm just trying to think of.
You mean FEMA calls and says, hey, how's your certification going? And we're not gonna be able to get the levy recertified. I think it's pretty.
We've been notified that, you know, and look, I know this better than anybody, but hey, we're gonna call you, early this year, we're gonna call you this summer, we're gonna call you here late fall, and here it is the next year. So, you know, I've lived through that for quite a while, but, one of these days, the clock's gonna start, And I'd at least like to have a foot in the door somewhere with the Corps, looking at it or talking to us about what we're gonna do. And I guess my point would be, it's gonna be a hell of a lot harder for FEMA to do anything bad against us or Greendale, either one, if we've got our foot on the pedal instead of just sitting back, wait and say, hey, we'll do all this if we get a grant.
Back a little.
So I'm sitting here looking and just, hey, I ain't running the show, but I feel like it's my job to feed you guys information and let you know different things to where you can all start thinking and put your heads together and make a decision here to the point to where you vote and here's the direction we want to go.
I thought we made that decision when we chased this grant, when we started doing everything with this grant 2 years ago. And we're pushing hard to do the grant. We know we need both sides of the coin, the Lawrenceburg side and the Greendale side to get the rating that we're gonna need to be competitive in the grant.
I agree. I'd like to talk to
Years old,
JT and have them present, because what happens if we move forward, like he's talking about, with a small project? How does that impact our future as far as trying to get those grants?
Well, like I say, this was designed to get you guys thinking.
Sure.
And you guys making a decision on which way to go right now is what I need. I mean, do we, decisions you can make here, is finalizing Mundell's, hey, we're ready. We want to make a decision. Let's do the berm. Do we start talking to the school system about the use of their property? If we're gonna, here's the other thing. In order to chase this grant, we're gonna have a project. We don't even have a project yet, so to speak. So that's part of moving forward. We don't have to start this project, but we sure as hell need to know what project we got that we're gonna do.
And how long do we wait on the grant process?
Well, that's has to do with Mondale and what we have to do. He's to determine that,
Well,
and I don't think we've been told that completely, have we?
You mean about recertifying the levy?
You keep on him about certified.
Yeah. Oh, no, but he has it in here, he's gonna have, if you read close, it's FEMA certified, I'm talking Lawrenceburg only. The Lawrenceburg levy is FEMA accredited in 2031 and a Corps accredited in 2037. It's back a couple pages. I mean, he's laid out when construction begins, how many relief wells, how the money is being spent.
Backtracking just a little bit, we got all these 159 wells. He's saying that in 10 years, none of them are gonna be good. That's really what I'm saying, because you're gonna replace them all
We're gonna,
in 10 years.
yeah, we're gonna,
Abandoning 159, so.
well, no, there's, how many's in there that were put in the last 15 years?
we've got
It'll
eight,
be tied in.
we've got eight.
21,
I mean,
21.
Oh, is there 21?
so there's,
Oh, I see.
so we're not tearing out those
21.
No, guys, we got 21 casings that we
Oh,
purchased,
so
they're
there were-
casings. We got eight existing relief wells that we have not tied into the collector system, so we're gonna do, it's about 3 pages back on highlighted. We've got the eight existing relief wells that we're gonna tie in, and we're gonna add 86 new ones, so we're gonna have 94 relatively new relief wells. We have 159.
That would be abandoned, and there's 10-year period.
But
But, I mean, we've been cleaning and rehabilitating some of those, or none of them gonna be any good, I guess, that's what I'm saying.
Well, they're
After-
80, they're 80+ years old, 85 years old, and they were supposedly a 50-year relief well. So,
it's really the last piece that we haven't put
Here's-
new gates in.
here's the thing,
We've done everything but the relief wells.
you've got new floodgates, you've got pump stations that are in fine shape. You've got a levee that, if it's taken care of, can be good for the next 1,000 years. And you've got relief wells that the timing of this is laid upon you guys' lap. It's just an important time for the relief wells. There has to be a decision made, and hey, I'm with you. Keep our fingers crossed. I hope we get a grant. That would go a long way for this community. It really would. But we got to finalize some kind of plan here.
If not, we definitely gotta start doing a cycle of relief wells. We haven't done our cycle. Right, Satch? We haven't done a cycle.
Clean
We gotta clean it, we gotta.
Yeah.
We gotta start on a cycle then, we take a look at the relief wells we got, and I can't remember the last time how much we spent.
It's been almost 10 years.
But we don't even know if the brick grant's gonna be available or.
There's no brick grants
So-
available
It's
now.
not
Right now, so.
Not right now.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's gonna be grants out there that would cover the whole cost of the project, for sure. So it's gonna be piecemeal possibly going through it, so.
Well, the way this is laid out,
Grants Over years.
Yeah.
well, the way this is laid out, I mean, it's definitely, I'm looking at it as if they call me this spring and ask, hey, what you guys' plan, where you at? Here's what we've done.
Are you talking the Corps, Paul, or are you talking
FEMA,
FEMA?
the Corps is not concerned with Greendale. That's the first thing we have to keep in mind. The Corps will back us 100% right now, because they know how much work we've been doing. They know how we've been studying, and they know how close we are. Matter of fact, in the last meeting we had with this risk analysis, it was mentioned that by these people from all over the country, we know you're doing studies on your relief well. We know you're close to getting us some information on what you want to do. You've done good work. So we heard that. Now, that was out of Corps. That didn't have anything to do with FEMA. However, we also, and Dave was in on the meeting, and we went through a whole meeting, and then at the end of it, our bosses from the Corps said, hey, and by the way, we want to let you guys know FEMA's been in touch with us. They're asking questions, so they will be in touch with you guys. That's the kind of stuff that always keeps me thinking towards, okay, if FEMA does call, I would much rather tell them, here's what we're doing, here's what we're working on. FEMA, take a look at our financial plan here. It ain't all that great. Everybody thinks, oh, you got $35 million. You guys can do whatever you want. No, if we do this, we're gonna be broke. So if you do put out,
37.
Well,
You
you use round numbers.
No, I'm rounding, I know that number, we got 37, but
So,
I was just kidding.
But anyhow, if they did call us and called us out on it, I truthfully don't think we even think about starting a project for 2 years. I mean, for the time it would take us to turn this into the Corps, get their comments, get all the feedback, get a set plan in place that we got blessed on, and they told us we could do it. Then you're figuring out, okay, how are we gonna price this out? Where are we gonna find the numbers? I really don't think it would start real quick, but as we have that information for people that are talking to us seriously, how could they possibly, how could they do anything to us? That's my point, is I just don't want to say, well, we put everything on hold, we're waiting on a grant.
No,
That's my point.
I agree that we need to possibly sit down and talk about it, but we need everybody there. We need JP in there, we need Mondell there. We've got to figure out how to put that plan together without hurting our chances on the grant. And answer some engineering questions with John.
Well, the one thing you guys brought up the last meeting, and I wholeheartedly agree with, is you wanted to have a conversation by ourselves first, and I agree with you. When we start having serious meetings on this, we need those guys here, and I need you guys prepared to ask any questions that you got on your mind. Because like I say, we're not even close to starting the project, in my mind. And the Corps takes a while on a simple project. This is by far not a simple
We still
project.
haven't heard one thing from the Corps on NGP. We're ready. We haven't.
How come we never hear anything from the Corps on funding any of our projects? I mean, we always hear that the Corps has money for projects, but we're not getting any.
We've asked.
We asked.
There isn't any available. Plain and simple, that's what they told us. We've had them, we've talked to them.
I think we had, I know Paul and I talked to him too.
Yeah, I've had John and Luke involved and Andrews listened in. And
They said the grant's the best way, this, of course, saying the grant's the best way to go.
Really are.
Well, yeah,
They don't want
that
to give us
takes
their
it,
money.
takes it off the list.
I think most of the money that the Corps throwing out goes towards, the ones that they're fully in charge of.
Well, that and the ones that have failed,
Well, sure, yeah.
they want to save the money.
Right,
I mean,
but they fund they fund the projects for the ones that they're in charge of, but they build this levee here and they dump it in Lawrenceburg
Well-
half the time. Now the conservancy district's like, they say, there you go, you got it, take care of it, pay for it.
But here, Danny, to your point, part of the reason why I put this together, and Heather was, me and Heather worked on it, and we know this thing needs some work, but that's another reason why it went in front of you. But part of the reason why, part of my plan would be going to the Corps. After you guys, do all this thinking and have these meetings, I would want to take John and I would want to have a meeting at the Corps of Engineers, and I'd want to say, hey, guys, look at our financial future. We could use some help. Y'all think we got plenty of money? Well, I can guarantee you one thing. In the February's meeting, I could bring in a contract here, and if you guys were willing to sign it, we would be broke. We would be broke in the next 2 years or sooner. And they need to see this. I mean, they need to see it, and you guys are thinking about it, and that's a good thing, because the decisions you make now are gonna affect the people that are running this place 30 years from now. But do we want to not have a plan and get something put together right now? Because 30 years from now, no matter what we do, we're gonna have less money. And right now, there's other things to think about. Lawrenceburg, the county, Greendale, if we don't get a grant, this doesn't have to fall on our back. This community is not rich, but they need to get their priorities straight and they need to figure out what's important to them. And the most important infrastructure that is in this area is this levee system. Nobody realizes it. Nobody realizes it. And that's something that we gotta get straight here.
Yeah, well, I agree. When you look at that cash flow analysis, we had to come up with a plan 10 years. We're not gonna have very much money. I don't wanna go into this plan without some type of.
And we didn't put this plan together expecting it not to get changed. If you guys got suggestions on this thing, me and Heather, we're willing. Heather how many times have we changed our mind? And Jimmy looked at it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
changed, Heather's pretty good at taking this thing and throwing new columns in it or something like that.
Well, I think we need to take the time and have a meeting with everybody.
Yeah.
And go through this page by
Oh, yeah.
page.
Oh,
And discuss it. That's the first thing we do. But as far as trying to figure out what kind of things we're gonna do now, right now, today, it's not.
No, it wasn't that.
We wasn't expecting.
No, I
that.
wasn't expecting that. It's just, we were just sitting here for an hour. I thought, what better way? Because on Thursday's agenda, you'll see I've got on there, we're gonna set up a date.
Yeah.
We're gonna have John, but when they get here, we gotta be ready for them too. We've gotta have our questions ready also. And maybe he's got one to John. Why aren't we getting money from FEMA? I think he'll answer that, or from the court. And
Do you think it would be too soon with the meeting with the county, JMT and John will both be down? That's in 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm not
Meeting.
expecting to have that meeting
That's
before
soon.
that.
no,
No.
I wanna get the county,
I wouldn't want that.
no, we gotta get the county on board. We need their commitment for 4.3 million. That gives us our 16, $17 million match on a $70 million project. We have the commitment. Then, we're still working on our cost benefit analysis. We're still working on our application. We're still working on our evacuation plan. We got a lot of work still yet to do. And I don't know, we sent out, I think Tom sent it, Paul sent it to me, we sent it out to everybody that Indiana awarded about, what was it, $8 million worth of grants. Tom saw it. You remember, and you sent it out on infrastructure. We need $6 million to do the engineering so we can be shovel ready. But remember,
Part of that big grant was being shovel ready.
oh yeah, and you get more points if we're shovel ready, not a pie in the sky project. It's a project that's been engineered shovel ready. We get more points for that as we go against
Do
competition.
you still have a spreadsheet? We had a spreadsheet at one time, or you did. All those things listed we've got going that we need to be completed. Do you have that when those estimated days or dates, when those things will be completed?
You mean, with John, you mean? or-
I mean, you just rattled off 3 or 4 there.
I can tell you where
You talking about the
hazard
John?
mitigation,
Yep.
hazard mitigation right now is completed, but it's in FEMA's hands. So when it's gonna be okay by FEMA, see, there we go again.
We haven't heard a thing.
Don't know.
We spent the money and paid for that project.
Yeah,
We paid for that.
but
I
it's,
know
but it's not been blessed by FEMA yet, which is the same thing we gotta go through when we turn anything into the court. And part of my thought process on turning things into the core, let's say, when you get these grants, it's like, bam, guys, you need to get busy. Let's say, because we've turned in Jimmy, I'm gonna call it a pre-application with it to Michael Grimm, and it's a pre-application. So I look at it as being a first step, but it's trying to place us where they think a good grant might come up. Well, what we're chasing is a good grant that might let us design this project and get it, what Jimmy called shovel ready. Guess what's gotta happen? If I get a grant, then I also got a timeline on when I gotta use that grant.
Remember, they came up with that timeline, how long we would have.
Well, but once they give you that grant, they're not gonna let you sit on it
Oh,
for 5 years.
No, you only have.
So now what I'm saying is let's say Michael Grimm calls us and say, hey, you guys are being considered for this. Aaron's really behind it. You know, here you go. Okay, thanks for the grant, but I don't even have anything turned into the core yet. I gotta know what we're gonna design. I gotta get it
Well,
okay.
I think we've come to the conclusion we need to do that.
Okay,
I mean, at least I do.
okay.
I'm not saying we should jump on it right away.
Right.
As far as performing the work, and you said it's gonna take a year or two, so.
It's,
So
It's that part of it's just a mystery.
it is gonna take a while. But the hazardous mitigation is done, complete, the county's got it in there. But I don't think we still got Michael doing the evacuation plan. Is that right, Satch? He's not done with that?
He's gonna, at last meeting we had, he's gonna add that, what do we call it, like a one-way out of town instead of,
Yeah, we had a meeting with the Corps, and this was when we had the group from all over the country. They were concerned about our evacuation. We only have one way out. It's gonna be up to Greendale. So we came up and we're gonna block Ridge Avenue. We'll have double cars going out.
Two lanes out of town.
And they wanna know how we're gonna,
so that's something we needed to
we
change.
gotta change that. And then there was, we informed about 911 and we have sirens and, I think we're close on that, but we still gotta finish it.
Well, and there's some changes when they brought it up that we need to make.
And we need to make those changes, and John's gotta finish the O&M manual. Right, Satch? It's not done.
It might not be done, but it's probably 98%.
Well, I think with we had a list of things Greg wanted to get done,
We did.
and
We
I,
had some completion dates on some of them, and I'm not sure we hit them.
we didn't hit them, It's not over we were always
Yeah.
trying to get him. And if you look in this presentation, I made him put together exactly, January of 2027, February 20, March 31, 37. He's got dates too.
Sure, we've had dates before.
Oh, I know.
Not the first time.
I know. But one of the dates is, and you'll see it, what's LCD's decision? Do we want to take this plan? It's right on back about 3 pages. Is what's our decision? When do we want to meet? When do we want to meet with the Army Corps of Engineers? And again, remember, it was brought up tonight. None of this has anything to do with Greendale's $40 million project. We don't have $40 million. So that's where, and remember, we're going for the joint grant. Randy was asking, we're going for the joint grant. But again, we're still working on the cost benefit analysis of Greendale. We're down to a few, Paul and I have been working along with Vince and Mike Perleberg. We still need information from freeholders in the Greendale levy that we can't get. We can't get them, the freeholders that we're protecting, to give us the paperwork. We're still working on it. We're getting close. I think but we're waiting on.
We've actually raised the number.
We've got a cost benefit analysis that keeps going up.
Probably our most important one, what we're hoping is actually, Jeff Linus was on vacation last week and I got plans to call him and we're supposed to talk because we just haven't had any luck getting in Catalent and talking to anybody, but they've done so much work for him that I've reached out and asked him. He said, when I get back, I'll call you and
We've had it's not over lack of effort on Vince's part and or Mike Perleberg. We need their information. They've got the most equipment, the most inventory, got the most machinery, they employ the most people, and we can't get anybody to help us.
I think we will.
Oh, yeah,
I think Jeff will be a big key in that. I hope.
we gotta get a contact. It's not that everybody else is cooperating with the car dealerships. We've got everybody, I think, says, and then Heather, and they the last ones, I think, we've got.
There may be a couple others.
Is there?
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, we do. So, again, we've got multiple, we gotta get our cost benefit analysis up. We've got it up from a complete project, but I want to get Greendale's cost benefit analysis up. We have a combined cost benefit analysis we've got to get theirs up, and we've got to get Catalan and maybe, I thought we had most of them all, but there's gonna
We
be,
have most of them, yeah.
but we need we definitely need Catalan, so if anyone got to contact the Catalan, we just can't get anywhere.
Did those numbers come in higher or lower than you expected?
The numbers that we're getting from
Yeah.
the higher, it's helping us.
Okay.
As we go talk to the individuals,
I know, I filled out like 4 of them.
yeah, you did, no, you,
I was just curious, in Catalan, they're terrible. Nobody knows who's doing what in there. Good luck.
well, we need some help on it.
I got 2 guys I can talk to and say, you've got some paperwork over there.
You sold it.
I can't get accounts receivable out of them, so they're terrible. They can call me and need stuff, but then when I need stuff, it's pretty quiet.
You don't get nothing.
Well, guys, we need, I mean, if you've got a contract, give it to Paul.
Sure.
It's not that difficult of what we're asking them to fill out.
No, depends on how much effort they want to put into it. If they want to make it accurate, then somebody's got to put some time into it.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to get close, then it doesn't take long.
Somebody's put some time in it just with their insurance policy. So
You would think.
That's what I would think,
you know,
yeah. The
They
other
probably
thing,
don't want to tell their insurance guy that it's they'll be protected.
Probably right.
The insurance guy, what? Wait.
the other thing I'd want to bring up, Greg, and Heather had a great idea, I thought it was great, and I'm gonna bring it up to you guys. It's a future thought. But let's say we're floating along, we're making these decisions, we put a plan together, we're waiting. All of a sudden we get a phone call, things get kind of interesting. You know, we've got our commitments from the county, the city of Lawrenceburg, the city of Greendale, and us. And as you have heard Jennifer say, our grant leader, you know, the better a percentage of participation is, the points go up. So part of the reason why I put this financial plan in front of you guys is if things get interesting, and if we think that down the road, our financial situation's looking pretty bad, why wouldn't you guys consider throwing an extra 4 or 5 million into the pot to sweeten that pot and make our percentage of participation, because what, I think it's 25% match. So,
Yeah.
minimum.
We need more, but we didn't go.
But
for any
as
more.
you participate, knowing the outlook that, hey, this is a commitment, and us putting this 5 million in might keep us from that 10-year period down the road, having a balance sheet of what, Heather? Yeah, or less,
It'll be
depending
that.
on things that go.
Be broke in 3 years.
That's a call. That's just a thought.
8.5.
As a member of the financial committee though, you know, now you're talking about 25% of the money we have going away. And as you know, we need that money to make money for the daily operations and other smaller projects.
The idea is that if you kick in an additional, whatever, how much, because right now, with the 4 groups, you got 25%. Any additional amount you put in puts you above the 25%, which gives you 1 point.
I'm talking about if we took 8 million out of water.
Yes, and that's, so what I'm
That's
saying is
that's
that,
25% of what we have.
that's additional, how much ever it is,
Mhm.
8 million. It's that much is less than 27 million.
See, Greg, if we start down this road, we're committing 27 million. So I think with Heather, when we get ready to apply for the grant,
Save $20
committed
million.
27, why don't we just
committed to 5, yeah, I like it.
commit another 2 million to give us more points to bring us up higher?
To sit and wonder if we're gonna get it.
Well, but you're also not putting out anything unless you get something.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
And that's just food for thought.
Yeah, they're,
And look, there's other ideas that can come out of this conversation. You guys, that's why I wanted to have this conversation. This is the first time we've had a conversation like this.
Well, we've talked about it, but I mean, I think we've got to ask John, don't do the relief well project. We start on a rehabilitation project and we go rehabilitate all the 156. Are we gonna get certification?
We ask him that all the time.
Well, we're gonna
When
have to
are we
ask.
getting that?
Well, I think I don't know. We've got to ask him straight up, and I will. If we don't do this project, and we do the rehabilitation, we rehabilitate the 159 relief wells that have never been replaced.
You'll never certify the levy with just the rehabilitation. But you need to ask him.
Oh, I will. I mean, because if he's not, then that's
We've got-
why, Greg, we got to get
We've
serious.
got
because
relief wells
we're-
that are zero.
Everybody keeps saying, I agree.
Oh, I know, I
I agree.
know.
We just need to put the people in the right place to get this done, and let's meet and do it.
All right. We'll work on getting a few dates set up and.
How
and,
how many wells can you put in a year?
He's got in here, Mike, he's gonna put in about 9.
Well,
Are you asking how
that's
many
true.
we can do or how many?
Yeah,
we
I
have?
mean, construction wise, how many could you get done in a?
Well, you can get more done than this.
Right.
This
That will have
plan,
money.
this plan is
Yeah.
spread out.
Right, 10
I-
years.
Okay, so if the money was there and the Corps said,
Go for
get
it.
it, go for it, I believe that you could probably do
A lot more than that
24.
in a year.
Mike,
Right.
I'll be honest with you, I think that if we got okay and we was doing this as a project, you're probably looking at a 2.5 to a 3-year project. And the reason why I say
If the
that,
money was there, you could go ahead and do them all.
That'd be about 30.
Yeah.
Because-
30 a year.
because when you're taking these wells out, you also gotta abandon them and you've got other things. But I think you could find a couple of contractors that could do this whole project and load up on it. But I don't think you're gonna be able to do this thing in a year. Or-
Unless you get a huge grant, you're not going to.
Exactly.
And on the last page of this project has the whole project done in 4 years. If you want to compare, it's kind of shoved it all in 4 years.
Just depends on how much money you can scrape up through a grant process. That's what it all comes down to.
Well, if they think it's important enough and they come to us and say, hey, here's what we're willing to do, if you guys can come up with the rest. And we would just go at it like madmen, I just think it's a.
Corps always gonna be looking for money and something's always gonna happen that's gonna take their focus away from projects and put it on
Right, somebody that's not in trouble as
Yeah.
opposed to someone who is.
who's in trouble when something fails.
Well, that's what they're doing now.
Well-
They had 2 levy failures out west. I mean, they're not, they don't, those are, I think they were FEMA levies, weren't they, Paul? I looked it up. Those were FEMA levies that failed.
I think all levies are FEMA, but not all levies.
Oh, you're
are
right.
Corps.
Not all were Corps. You're right. They were FEMA, not Corps. You're right. Yeah, I'm not sure they were Corps, they were FEMA. Well, I mean, that's kind of just what I wanted to, and again, be ready to check your calendars. We have Thursday's meeting. We'll try to see one before Thursday. Maybe we'll get with, we want to do it after the county meeting. And if we don't get the county's commitment for the 4.3 million, we don't have the 25% match. We definitely got to come back and make some tough decisions.
Yeah, really.
Real tough. If we don't get their commitment.
Yeah. It's a whole new ballgame.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Very well.
all right, everybody, we got about 10 minutes. And then we'll have, the sheriff will come back in and we'll have election results and then we go from there.
You cook all this.
My daughter made the cookies at the end here.
What was that?
Help yourself there,
Very good,
Doug.
very good, son.
Still fat and old.
Oh, he's ready. Oh.
Do we have any more?
None of that's
Hey,
worse than.
I'll go look.
What do you need, Greg?
So what's our?
You know where they're at, don't you, Heather?
No, but I'll go
They're
look.
cool, that's what you're saying.
That was, okay.
In order to apply.
3 or
for
4
grant,
of
we have to
please.
spend the $5 million. Yeah, exactly.
Conversation with the project. Oh, there's a whole
Well,
list of stuff.
my question
Well,
was, when you
I think you probably get a list of that.
apply for a
It's probably,
$10 million grant,
can give that, everything that needs to be done.
each of the 4 entities.
Oh,
so it was
That
all-
percentage of
everything needs to be
they
done.
committed.
Yeah.
There's always
So
stuff.
that could go on
I'm sure there's.
Oh, yeah,
for some time.
well, we haven't really gotten a final word from them, have we?
It can't be final until you guys make a couple decisions, and they need to make that clear. I mean, are you gonna add relief wells on the long slope, or are we gonna try to attempt and talk to Carl on the berm?
See, that's what I
We
think.
have to add more relief wells, but we do have to do a certain amount of both,
If we do the berm, we still have to add some.
some.
Can we get you anything, Tom?
And if we do the
No,
berm,
But if we're doing it in stages, go ahead.
Yeah.
which is gonna do our
You're right.
level of.
Yeah, please.
It wasn't much, if I remember right. from that little brief presentation.
Well, and I had told him, he sent it today, but I'll have